One thing that can really sock it to the confidence of people who are interviewing is when they get rejected. What if I really am rejected? I did everything right, I educated myself, and I didn't get the job offer. You know what? It's okay. It happens to everyone. Everyone gets rejected at some point within job applications, job interviewing. If you don't, well, great. You probably don't need this course. But everyone does. It happens to everyone. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. And sometimes things are out of your control. You could do everything great, but maybe the organization has an internal candidate that they've already really kind of decided upon, and they go through a process. I worked for companies that said you must interview at least 3 external candidates before you can give a job to an internal candidate, somebody inside the organization. So you do hopefully fair, or maybe quick, but at least fair interviews with these external candidates. Maybe you find somebody who's great, but if you're already really set on this internal person, you do your 3 interviews, you've met your quota, and now you can hire that internal person. The unfortunate part is that isn't great for you, the external candidate who applied, but understand that maybe that's what you're getting rejected for, and understand it's not rejection so much as it's just not an opportunity for you today. So, okay, great. So sometimes those things happen as far as internal things in organizations. Another thing that can happen, and this happened to me one time, I had a great interview process, went through the long process. They were talking to me about job offers. We were starting to put the final details on. And literally, like a few days before I was supposed to have the meeting to get the job offer, they said, come in, this is the day we're going to give you a job offer. They closed a bunch of plants. They announced some bad numbers to Wall Street, and they have a hiring freeze go on all operations in the company, right? And so the poor people who are interviewing me said, gosh, we're so sorry. There's a hiring freeze. We can't hire anybody, and we want you. Stick around. We're going to see what we can do for you. Keep your interest in us. We're going to keep our interest in you, but right now we can't hire you. I mean, I was a couple of days away from getting the job offer. Even that, they probably would have rescinded anyways if they could have done it. I don't know if they could have, but either way, it just didn't work out. Was that any my fault? No, I was terrific. They were going to give me a job offer, but things happen with the organization. So understand, sometimes you're rejected just because, things happen in the organization. Sometimes there's other better candidates. Sometimes somebody else did great in an interview. It's okay. Not everything's a perfect fit. So understanding that when you don't get the job opportunity, and move on to the next one. And understand it's a great thing that's sort of happened in a great way, because every interview is a chance of education for yourself and a chance to improve. You'll get better each time you do more interviews. I remember the first interviews I did coming right out of university, and I had a little bit of training from the school, but boy, I'm so much better now, not only just because I have experience to talk about, but just I have these skills to do that. So every interview you do, and the more you educate yourself and the more you practice, the better you'll be. And if you went through a long interview process with somebody and you didn't get the job, that's okay. You got a lot of practice. You got a lot of ways that you can reflect on that and think how you can improve and keep doing the things that you did well. And understand that interviewing is really a numbers game. It's a numbers game, right? The more interviews you do, the more chances you'll have, and the more likely that you'll get a job offer. If I'm interviewing with only one company and I have, and that's all I'm going to do, well, I'm really putting all my eggs in that basket, as opposed to if I'm interviewing with many companies for maybe many different positions. I have a lot more opportunity. I'm getting better by interviewing with many companies. So understand, rejection's part of the game. It's okay. This is one thing that salespeople know very well. And you don't have to be in sales at all. I'm not saying you have to be in sales. But one thing that salespeople know is that for every no they get, this classic phrase, every no is one more step to a yes. Think about that for a second. Salespeople, especially if you're in sales, you understand this. They get rejected all the time, every day maybe, depending on the position, right? They get customers telling them no. They get customers objecting to their product or service or not buying it, whatever it might be. So they have to deal with that rejection, and they deal with that well because they're able to understand that for every no I get, it's a numbers game, and eventually I'll get to yes, and I'll get to more yeses, and I'll be successful in sales. The beauty with job interviewing is you don't have to get to many yeses to hit a quota or something of that nature. You have to get to one yes. You just have to get to one yes and go through all those no's to get to one yes to maybe make a great difference in your life. So understanding that interviewing is a numbers game, understanding that the more no's you get is lead you to a yes. The more that you are interviewing in the practicing education, you'll get better. Those are all great things. So if rejected, think about like, okay, I got rejected, didn't get this job opportunity, maybe there's an opportunity with them, maybe I could come back around with them, but really it's time to move on and be confident, like, I didn't get this job, but I learned a lot and I'm ready to get the next one and I'm ready to keep going. And the thing is, understand the numbers game and just keep going and learn from it, and you'll be more confident and you'll be more successful, and you'll get that one yes, the one yes you need to get that new job and that new career.